what was happening in the area. There were some strange occurrences with creatures in the area, animals drawing too close to town, uncomfortably close. They came upon a small farm where they found several dead bodies and a bunch of blight wolves. Uh, they managed to actually capture them all in a singular location before setting it on fire, rescuing a elf in the process, and throwing a barrel of moonshine into it, and watching a big bada boom happen.
I
So,
mean, you can't be like, here's 3 barrels of moonshine in a fire.
right.
You know I'm gonna explode something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that what it's for?
What else do you do with moonshine? Drink it?
Yeah, so there's an aspect of drinking it, I suppose, but speaking of which, the dwarf decided to take it upon herself to drag a cart full of it, and pretty much everybody else of the adventure party west of here, back towards town. And I believe we ended with the young elf waking up and crying the name Mathalan. Um,
Oh yeah. Oh, and they were wearing chains. I remember that too. They had what they were clutching. That's what they were clutching.
They're
Yeah.
clutching a chain.
A chain.
Yeah, there was a chain that had some
Or
semblance of magic about it.
I believe, Alwyn, you still have that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where we're going to start. I believe, Elif, you have this elven woman who's just clutching at you and crying currently, inconsolable.
I'm just like shushing and like speaking softly and calmly, or attempting to. Just trying to like keep them, because they've been unconscious for a while. So like trying to keep them like calm them down.
Okay. As you're actually like holding on to her, you can feel where the wound was at her side. It's somewhat stitched from the spell that Alwyn had cast upon her, but you notice that the gashes on it don't seem to be quite the same as if one of the wolves that you all had encountered had actually injured her. There seems to be almost 5 points of puncture in her side.
So I'm like this. I'm like, as I'm holding, I'm just gonna like reach my hand down and see if it like matches up with like hands.
If it messes up with hands.
Matches
Oh,
up
okay.
with the.
Your hand's a slight bit smaller than,
Yeah.
but it would you seem to be consistent with that. Yes.
Oh.
We see like where the thumb would be. You know, the line's not quite as long as the other fingers would have been.
What happened to you?
It takes some time for her to start to collect her senses about her. She looks up to you and begins spilling forth in this Dalish tongue. Do you speak Dalish at all?
Nope.
I didn't think so. I
So
know
I'm just
that.
gonna be like, translate.
I'm like there as well, like on the back.
Okay.
I speak Delash.
She begins this mad ramble that you take pieces of. She keeps speaking of Mathalan, the child of vengeance, how she barely escaped with her life.
Just remind me, what do I know about that kind of phrase? Like is having kind of like cultural meaning?
It's somewhat connected to I think it was Mythal, who's the elvish deity who was known for this portfolio of vengeance. The old elven pantheon that the Dalish still try to cling hold of.
So I think I speak to her in Dalish, and I'm just like, Nila fine, Talatlan Talu, Salan, Silifia. I'm just saying, you're safe. The child of vengeance has missed you. You're going to a safer pasture.
Elith, she slowly pulls back from you and moves over to the Lathrin. Did I say that correctly this time?
You're laughing, yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
For some reason, I always say Lala for some. I have no idea why.
My name's Lala now.
La la la.
She I guess upon hearing her own tongue, moves closer to them and says, "So much has happened. I I crawled through the woods for days. Finally found myself within this farm, gravely injured. I'm I'm beyond thankful that you all found me."
Like a hand on her shoulder. Is she still speaking in like Dalish?
Yes, yes.
I say in Dalish, the Lafren Talanar. Where is your clan, cousin? Please let us speak in the common tongue so my friend can understand.
She turns, says, "My common is not best." She says that in Dalish to you, but I will try my best. It's here. I apologize. Are you still pulling this cart, by the way? Not just.
Yeah. I mean, nobody said otherwise for me to stop, and
Okay.
you know, I'm a one-track dwarf.
Yeah.
Olwen did get out of the cart and is walking beside Murdy. I think she would have told her, like,
I probably
slow down, don't wear
slowed
yourself
down.
out.
Yeah, I probably slowed. Now that we're out of range of, say, having to answer for an exploded barn and all of that, I probably slowed down to a slight just walk. There's no running anymore.
Okay. She says that my name is Ishara. We have been in the area for several months. My brethren have been to the town in the last couple weeks. Our Lord Keeper Aurelis, he had us go back from the town when and she looks over to Elith as if somebody realizing who you are, maybe have noticed you within the tavern when this whole ordeal had went down. You know, something strange. It attacked us out in the woods. Captured many of us. Took us deeper in.
Who? It's not my voice. Who?
Or what?
Some strange creatures, many, and the largest one, Mithalin, spoke our tongue.
If I don't know what that means.
That's the child of vengeance.
All right.
That's not good.
No, that's quite strange. Yes.
Murdy's like, what they say? Real loud.
They were part of the clan that left the town when there was this. They were attacked. Some of them were kidnapped and dragged deeper into the woods by a beast creature thing that also spoke Dalish.
This is Ishara, everybody.
Murdy probably just like, nice to meet you, over her shoulder. She's like dragging this cart.
Olwen gives a light wave. She's not speaking up at this point, but she is listening very closely.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Elith will just point at himself. Elith.
It's wonderful to meet you all. You see her eyes suddenly grow larger. She begins to pat herself.
What you looking for?
I had a artifact.
What
A
was
chain, perhaps?
A link, yes.
Well, since you are awake to keep it, yeah. And she kind of backs up to where they are in the cart and hands it out back to her.
Okay. She takes it and sort of presses it against herself.
What is it?
When I escaped Mithalin, he had it on display, like on an altar.
There seems to be a touch of magic about it.
It's dwarven.
You've no idea what it is?
There was an entire circle made of these.
A circle of chains. That's usually meant to keep something in, I would think.
Sounds really bad.
But this one was missing.
Well,
Someone
And
summoning?
You just took it.
I fled with it.
Did anyone follow you?
I do not know.
And-
I was injured by Mithalin on the way out. I just dove into the woods.
But they know you left. Is that correct?
She sighs and nods.
Did they look
Very
like
well.
an elf?
Mithalin or the
Yeah.
others? He was some creature, twisted, broken. I just remember his eyes.
You don't remember anything he might have said or done, or what the pattern of the change looked like on the ground?
The pattern was some circle. There was writing, and inside I do not recognize the language, though.
Could you mimic it if I gave you some paper?
I can try.
Right. I'm gonna go in and get out some paper and a quill, and just do the best you can, cousin.
Okay, let me roll. Holy shit. Okay.
It's perfect.
So he looked like this. And
It's like I rolled 3 6s and I got 6 stunt points. Okay.
Wow. Wow.
A little bit more.
She's so
fluke.
good.
It's like she was an apostate herself. They're not quite perfect. But they're close enough to where your Owen would probably recognize that there is a binding spell that definitely had been placed within this circle.
Oh, okay, great.
A very powerful one. Not one like you guys had used for the doorway, but something that was meant to capture something much more powerful.
Sure.
Huh.
Something big, like something from the Fade, maybe.
Most likely, yes.
Cool. That's fine. That's definitely fine.
Said their eyes. You remembered their eyes. Exactly was it about them that you remembered?
So much anger.
Perhaps a rage demon. From the Fade. Or, more accurately, if this Mithalin was humanoid, might be an abomination.
And
He,
the others, Murdy asked. The rest of the captured. Where are they?
I am not sure. There were a few in the cells, but their numbers dwindled every day, taken off, not to be seen again. It was a couple of weeks, as I said. We had just gone out into the forest. There was the man who punched she starts trying to like make a sound of like a hammer.
Blacksmith.
Blacksmith, yes. The man who punched the elder had him go searching, scouting the area. He was the first to go missing. Not long after that, that's when they struck us. Maybe a day or two later.
I see.
Would I have a map of this area?
On you, probably not, but you could
Okay.
probably have access to one
Okay.
through Tarldale.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you remember where exactly? If we give you a map, would you be able to show us where this all happened, where you were being kept?
I could show you where we last camped. If
That
that
would
would
be a good
be
start.
any assistance.
That is a decent enough start, all things considered.
This is all very troubling. Did you see this written in ink or blood or?
Bones.
It,
Yes.
it appeared to be very old.
Carved into place?
Carved, yes. I would assume it was permanent. Or meant to be permanent.
At a guess, I would say that someone long ago had sealed whatever Mytholin may in fact be, and perhaps our blacksmith inadvertently set it free. If that is in fact when all of this began.
Mytholin spoke much of the humans in the area. He wished some sort of retribution against them.
Why?
I do not know.
I can't imagine.
These blacksmith. I don't know how many blacksmiths you've been with. Murdy's been with many. And I will tell you, blacksmiths do not work alone. They're not smart enough.
Do you expect he had an apprentice that went with him then?
I expect that he is at least not working alone.
It'll be very easy to find out once we get to town.
Indeed. He should have someone left behind to mind the shop, I would think. Somebody we can talk to.
Yes, perhaps they might have been working on something extra special recently. I'm gonna go into like my satchel and take out some water and bread and give us some.
Well, if you need a blacksmith talking to, I volunteer myself.
A talking to, right? Mm-hmm. Right.
Yes, I think the objective is to ask questions and seek answers.
I know many a
Politely.
way to get many an answer out of a blacksmith.
And there it is.
Ideally, an answer that does not come at the face of your fists.
No.
Nerdy. I know that's difficult for you, dear. I know.
I've been
But you
known to
must
do
try.
other things with my fists than just punching.
That is more information than I needed.
I mean, you did specifically say not punching.
I did.
She goes, so, which direction? Continue forward?
Onward
we're on
to Ventiver, I believe.
So, westward you all continue.
Westward we go.
Power of murder.
With the hope of getting to talk to a blacksmith. Talk.
Right?
We've got a 130 power cart.
It's a lie since I've talked to a blacksmith.
That thirst keeps her going.
Birdie thirsty.
You're one.
I keep offering you some water. I don't understand.
It's not a Dragon Age campaign without a little romance, right?
Yeah.
True, very true, very true. So our one-powered dwarf cart heads west. Several hours later, you two come upon the outskirts of the village. I think most of you have been here at least one point. Nothing really catches you off guard. It's small. There's maybe 25 buildings altogether.
Okay.
Where are you going to take your cart to exactly?
Where do I know where Tarldale would be at this moment?
You would guess that he might be at his own house at this
Okay.
point.
I think it might not be a bad idea to bring her to the Grey Wardens. They're the most likely to be able to shed some light on this right from the get-go, and also actually protect her if something happens.
I think you're right. That would be a wise decision. And they ought to know about this, at any rate.
We were just gonna tell him about the barn anyways, yeah?
Yes, well,
We'll tell them what they need to know.
Wasn't our fault.
Definitely
not
not.
especially.
Was
I mean, if we don't tell anyone how we're going to get our reward, and I just like pan.
Olwen rolls her eyes and does not care.
Like I said, we'll tell them enough.
Let's see here.
I need to report in anyways.
Why don't I go ahead and get a perception or something from anybody around? If you don't know if you all are trained in it or not, but
Hearing or seeing?
give me a seeing if you have seeing.
I have perception, not trained in it.
Yeah.
yeah, me neither.
Not trained in it in any way.
So that is
Yeah.
15.
Nice.
Beautiful. So even
Yes,
if
some points.
did actually, yes.
Oh yeah.
So, Elith, as you all have all begun to make your way to the outskirts of the village and moving towards Tarldale's house, you see actually a couple things. One, you do see the villagers seem to have taken some attention to you all, most likely because there's a dwarf pulling a cart through a town.
Just a normal Tuesday.
But even with your roll and with your stunt points, we'll go ahead and add on to this. They seem to be paying a lot of attention to the elf that's in your cart with you all,
Hey.
with leery eyes. Like,
I am staring daggers at them all.
Maybe we should give her a hood, Here, take mine.
Why? And I
Like-
take the hood. Why should she hide herself?
No.
Like, Elith is like matching every single eye and giving them daggers back.
If we
Why?
antagonize everyone in the village right now, we are going to not be able to seek the information we need.
As long as it comes from the Grey Wardens, I don't think we need any of their approval, really.
It is a temporary measure only.
Well.
Besides, don't we want to keep her safe?
Yep.
and secondly, Elith,
Ah.
what you also see, as you all are breaking the clearing of the woods here, high up on a tree, you wouldn't really notice it otherwise, but with your keen sight, you happen to catch a glance of one of these crows like you'd seen at the farm. It just seems to be watching you.
How far away is this said crow?
It's probably a good 50 yards away at this point, high up in a tree. So
Okay.
we're 50, 60 feet into a tree.
Elith will just keep an eye on it. Less antagonizing eye daggers, more curiosity.
I'm gonna speak to Isharan in Dalish and just say, "Why is everyone staring at you? What happened?"
They had a conflict here a couple days, not too long ago.
She nods at Elith. I would assume that would have part of it. We left under night. I don't think they were too happy with us.
It was a fun couple of days after that.
And by fun, you mean no fun.
Depends on your definition of fun.
I have many definitions of fun.
I think at least one of them would qualify. A few punches where they're needed.
I'm just gonna look at everyone as I'm in the car. My full kind of Dalish self that's on display.
Ashura managed to sink down a little deeper into the cart. Doesn't seem to be very comfortable with all the eyes that are on her as you all continue on. So you want to go ahead and continue on to Tarldale's abode? Okay.
And
To the
Elith is gonna
abode.
like yell at the crowd. If like they start like gathering, he's basically gonna be like, "Get on with your business. It has nothing to do with any of you."
They're not so much gathering as they're sort of just gawking. currently. Lots of whispering back and forth.
And more of a, "Don't you have something better to be doing with your time?"
And your words generally do disperse them at that point, or they just sort of turn off embarrassed or at the attention.
Have rudely acknowledged our rudeness.
How dare he?
So, with a long sigh, Murdy finally sets down the weight of the cart. Um, Next to a very simple house. There's no fire going in it because you don't see any coming from the chimney at this point. Um, but Elif, you've been here enough and feel comfortable enough that you can come and go as you please.
Walk right up to the door. Knock. Open.
Okay. You knock, there's no response, but you do turn the door easy enough and it does open to you.
Hello? Hello? Boss man.
You have no answer back. It's a very simple, like almost like a one-room cabin kind of deal. There's the kitchen, the bed, everything is sort of in this one space. And on the bed, you see a bundle and a letter folded up next to it.
Gonna look at the folded up letter.
Okay. It's actually addressed to you from Tarodale. Looking over it, it explains that he has left. That he has gone in search of what's going on in the area because there was an attack over the evening. Creatures had gotten too close to the village itself, had attacked some chickens, had run off with them. And it was probably the most unprovoked attack at this point that occurred. And it also says that within this pouch is something for you in particular. Should you not see him again, that you are to find out or find the Grey Warden Duncan and continue on.
What's in the package?
Okay, so you unfurl this pouch, and what you find is another smaller leather pouch and a silver chalice.
Okay. Do I know what this is?
You have a good idea what it is.
Okay. Cool. I'm gonna put the cup back in the pouch. Put the pouch in my pouch.
Okay.
Pouchception this.
Yeah, you pick up the small leather pouch, and there's that smell of herbs that wafts from it. It's very light, dried herbs. You tuck that away along with the chalice itself.
I will take the note as well and put that in my bag, and
Okay.
I will. So, good news, bad news time.
What is it?
Good news, Taldale is kind of on the same page as we are. He's investigating these things, he's off doing his own thing. Bad news, he's off doing his own thing.
Well, that does put a bit of a crimp in our plans, doesn't it?
There are no other Grey Wardens in the area?
Not near, really, as far as I know.
Not
Oh,
to your
great.
knowledge.
Yeah.
And you don't have a way to, say, get in contact with him.
I could yell really loud.
Was that a joke?
It was both a joke and the truth, sadly.
Well then, might there be any trouble if we utilize the facility for the evening?
No, he won't care.
Yes, a nice place to rest would be nice. Then where?
Well, somebody still needs to know that this is a situation that is occurring,
He'd be
and
the
that
one
we are going to be investigating, I suppose.
Isn't there like, I don't know, some, and I look at you, Owen, chantry people you could talk to? Away from me?
It has
In the
certainly crossed my mind to alert the Chantry to this, but I fear that they may be a little overzealous in their response.
Well, what are we supposed to do?
Well, he's off investigating. Do we Did he give me like any vague, even instructions on where he had gone, or just there were some chickens? I'm gonna go check it out.
No, Taradale's pretty well known. I mean, if something occurs, he just goes off and takes care of it.
Yeah.
He's usually surveys the local
Right.
farmlands and such. So he's just sort of the warden in the area.
We can check out with the locals, see if we could get our own information, and see if we can find out where he went. Check in with him.
Yes. Also the blacksmith, right?
Right. I was going to have a talking to.
You were.
Yes. Have your talk.
Oh, I might have to stretch. My old bones are what they used to be. That's a long cart haul. She kind of stretches to touch her toes a little bit. Here's the real question. What are we trying to get out of this here blacksmith? Just did he make the chains?
I don't imagine that to be the case, given what we know now.
They said they were very old.
So, Murdy's just going to chat.
Maybe he'll know more about the chains since they're dwarven.
Or what happened.
Might be good to
What
find out.
exactly Do I know what exactly happened to set off the conflict?
You just know that everything seemed to be going fine that day. And as the night went on, the drinks started flowing more and more and more. There was some derogatory words back and forth, and fists ended up flying. Nobody was seriously injured by any means. No one was killed or anything.
But it was enough to make the elves.
Right. You know that the one that Ashar had spoken of, the elf who ended up being the first one to disappear, he had been part of the instigation. He had been drug off actually by Taradale himself. Not so much, just more to protect him than anything else.
Yeah.
Break up the brawl.
Yeah.
Right. The rest of the night it started to get kind of dicey to the point where the elves felt, well, we're just going to pack up and we're going to go ahead and head out that night.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, they were all sort of celebrating this harvest time. They had a good relationship to that point.
So if you wanted to see exactly what caused this, get his side of things. And was it a dwarf?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was a human. You know his name is Colin.
What, his name's Cole? Colin?
Coalon.
Colin. Got it. Okay. Oh.
You want to chat with him to get his side on things?
See what happened with the fight?
Yeah.
I mean,
That would be wise.
but how does the fight linking to this trouble? They seem separate. I mean,
It might be.
disputes happen all the time, right? With
Especially
do,
when alcohol
but we-
is involved.
We cannot discount that they may be linked. It's worth it to discover either way.
So for Murdy's sake, let me get all of this straight. Friends all get taken by creatures in the night. Then there's a tuffle in town.
Other way around.
Tuffle in town and then everybody's taken. See, now that is different.
Yep. They had a bit of a conflict.
And we're sure nothing was taken or broken.
From here or from the site? Because Ishara has said already that she took that chain that Mithalin seemed to possess.
Yes, from the place she was being held.
Indeed.
Ooh. Is she in this room?
Yeah.
She's with you also.
Do you remember this place where you was held?
It was cold and dark. And
Right.
made of stone.
Map. And go get a map.
Cold and stone, so under the ground.
She nods. I believe so, yes.
I am underground, dwarf. Where around here are entrances to
Technically-
underground?
Technically, you're above ground at the moment.
Well,
Yeah.
Technically, I'm not really a dwarf claimed anymore, anyways. But yeah, it's a technicality. What would I know coming from mountain dwarves? Are there entries in this area? Would there be naturally occurring like places to enter? Yeah, quarries, anything like that.
Oh, trade posts.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you what. With you and Elith together, looking at this map, why don't one of you go and make me a cunning roll?
You cun. I don't. You're the cunning one. I do not cun. Not well.
Would it be possible with
Nice.
with lore knowledge to know if there are any sort of ruined sites in this area?
Absolutely. I'm going to make a roll for that as well.
Sure.
18.
I'm gonna stand here and talk like I know what I'm doing.
Well, you see.
I remember.
I'm really not good at anything but punching stuff with my hands, so...
Punching is very important.
And evaluating high-quality items, clearly. That was also something I was good at last time.
You punch and you know things.
I punch and know things.
Cunning, I guess? I don't know. I
Cool.
have lore as a talent, but I don't know how to link it up.
So you just add 2 to that.
Yeah.
Wow.
19, 22, or 21. Okay, between the three of you, you know that there is a massive river that goes through the area just east of here. With Ashara's knowledge, you know that they camp just west of that river. And Owen, you had heard of, there was some ancient ruins east of that river. And along with Murdy, you do know that there was a system of caves that had been long established in this area, that these ruins actually had been built around.
Elven ruins, dwarven ruins,
Elven
ancient
ruins.
Tavine
They're
ruins.
elven ruins.
Ancient
Okay.
elven ruins.
Sweet.
Probably dating back before humans had actually entered Ferelden.
Cool. Yeah, as they're...
Sounds like an evil place.
It sounds like the perfect hidey hole to me.
It also sounds like a place that has extensive access to the Fade.
Yes.
I would not be surprised to find demons there.
Yeah, so does foolish people.
How far from here?
You're going to assume, given the knowledge that you have now, it may take you a couple days to make it through there.
Ah, okay, that helps. So, not too far to be able to say take your prey.
So it's roughly a day to get to the camp itself. If you can find a path across the water, it'd be more helpful. You could probably get there in 2 days, but that might be an issue of itself.
You could get a boat.
Dwarves don't boat.
That's okay, you can learn. I believe in you.
There's got to be a natural bridge.
Ishara, how long were you captured for? From the moment you were taken to now?
Thinks on it. It was a few days after we left the city. If I had to guess, it's been 8, 9 days.
What's the weather been like in that time frame?
It's been fairly cold. We're just starting going into the autumn season at this point.
Okay.
So you have like cold mornings and slightly warm afternoons, but it's been very wet.
Yeah, 'cause I was trying to think if I could backtrack.
Would there be somewhere that we could easily procure a boat?
You might find one in the city itself, or the village itself. Transporting it, you'd probably have to get a cart or something, but
Hey,
Or a
we got
Murdy. We got a Murdy.
a Murdy or a
Supplies to build a raft.
We've got a cart. We could just like.
There's got to be
Nail some other
there's
board.
got to be a bridge.
Yes,
Boats are just floating bridges.
a barge. at
That is
least.
a way to look at it.
But
I'm going to go chat with blacksmith and see if I can work some information out of him.
Yeah, don't forget to ask about the ring.
Wait, wait. The chain?
Chain.
The chain.
link.
Should I take it with? Okay.
You might want to ask Ishara about that.
So Murdy,
She's right here.
Murdy has to ask about the chain. She needs to ask whether or not there's a bridge / boat option. What else? Is it really just the chain? Oh, and about the kerfuffle, what he knows.
Yes, yes.
I ask Ishara in Dalish, do you mind if we borrow this? Just to get some more information from it. We can get it back to you.
She looks hesitant at first, but does end up pulling it from a pouch to her side, and she does hand it off to you.
Kind of give her a nod and thank her. Yes, this, Murdy's ways, and I guess the alcohol if we want to grease the wheels.
Don't be out too late.
You need me to come with you, Murdy? Are you alright?
Come with me. You can. But if you're asking if I'll be alright, I have wrangled my fair share of blacksmiths in the dark.
Alright.
I have full faith.
I'll scream real loud.
Yes. And I like.
I
give you
mean,
the-
unless you
the
want to
chain.
come watch how a pro does it.
I mean, I'm fine. They blush and they're just like, here's the link, and I like walk away.
Olwen will get to her feet and just sort of smooth down her robes. Well, if that's taken care of, I think I'm going to go and speak with someone in the Chantry and at least let them know that this is going on and that it's being handled.
Ha.
Yes.
Do you want some help?
Are you particularly interested in entering the Chantry?
Nah, but otherwise I'm gonna be stuck here.
If you wish,
I don't
Just-
want to go with Murdy.
that's fair. I don't expect to take long. I simply want to report the news. It's
I'll
something of an
stay-
obligation, you understand.
Completely.
Well, Atherin looks thrilled.
I'll stay here with Ishara and watch
That
out
would be
for her.
wise, I think.
If anything happens, just scream real loud.
You'll hear a lot of explosions and screaming, yes.
Does it work if we all scream real loud?
I go in the house.
It'll start something.
Murdy probably walks off whistling, like twirling the chain as she walks.
She's gonna have a great night.
Yeah.
Poor Laffin.
Except
only,
she's not charismatic at all. This is gonna be great.
Laffin's only 21. Poor baby.
We're splitting the party.
Yeah, but we're just in town. It's okay. We're just in town.
Just
fine, it's
something bad will
fine.
happen.
No.
And in Olwen's case, she really is just going to be like, hey, this is what happened. We're looking into it. Don't do anything yet. But if we don't come back...
You don't hear from us in 10 days.
Then do something.
yes.
Okay, I guess we'll just go ahead and start with Murdy then, get this part taken care of.
just knock it out.
It's the first thing I say to
Yeah, I'm guessing it's not nighttime yet, so he's actively working. Or they are actively working, I should say.
He is in the blacksmith shop currently. You don't hear the ding of the anvil or anything currently. There is smoke that is coming up from the establishment.
Okay.
There is fire going in it.
Okay.
But
So
you
the
don't-
hearth is hot.
correct.
Great. Murdy Murdy strolls up too. I'm guessing he's like indoors. He's inside the shop?
Correct.
And Murdy leans in her short frame on the door frame, and she says, I have some questions about a chain.
Okay, So we see this dwarf figure leaning and holding this chain out in front of us. You see Colin, he's probably in his mid 40s. He's been at the trade for quite some time, and there's a couple other younger gentlemen with him. They're all well. The blacksmith itself seems to have like this an axe actually like laying on his shoulder, and he's talking to these other two, who also have like one has like a pitchfork. And the other one just seems to be unarmed currently, but they were talking
Oh.
among themselves as you were coming in. Their heads snap in your direction. He sort of gives them a nod, and they begin to slink out of the shop.
Can I want to take real good. I'm gonna make a real good look at those the ones with the pitchfork and
Okay.
just really burn it to memory.
Gotcha. So, you are guessing by their muscle structure and by the darkness of their skin. It looks like they've been tanned under the sun. You'd assume they're probably just farmers.
Yeah.
Some sort of, tenders.
Tenders. Okay. I go. You didn't have to go. I shout behind him.
They don't take notice of you. They just keep moving on. The blacksmith himself seems to lower the axe and sort of just rests the head of it, the back of the head of it in his hand. He's just sort of like watching you.
I'm Murdy.
So what can I do for you?
I have questions about a chain.
Oh, that's pressing, isn't it?
It's right pressing. And I lay the chain down, and you wouldn't happen to know of anybody in these areas that makes, say, more chain? Or is it just you?
Well, I'm the only blacksmith in the area.
Monopolized.
You see, we have sort of a problem right now.
And, dare I say why? I lean on his counter, completely oblivious to the fact there's any problem at all.
Rumor going around the town is you all have managed to bring in a rather interesting guest with you.
They're talking about me, aren't they? I knew it.
Not quite, no.
You mean, well, I don't know what you could possibly mean. I'm the most interesting thing that we've drug in the last, say 24 hours. Yeah, I like snort and sling my beard over my shoulder.
The sad thing is I don't know if you're playing stupid or just plain old stupid.
Well, what if I told you it was neither?
I'm confused by your actions right now, I'll be honest.
I get that a lot. She leans in a little closer. Just go with it.
Right. I'm speaking of your little Dalish friend that you managed to bring into town.
Oh! Well, now that's a pretty big accusation. And you want to talk about the Dalish when I'm sitting here with chains on your counter?
It just seemed it's awful funny that they're here 2 weeks ago and all of a sudden we are getting attacked by strange creatures from outside the forest, just where they happen to be camping from. I can't say I couldn't put two and two together on that.
Also, I
And
see.
I'm not the only one.
Well, I was also coming to ask about the little tiff. That.
What's there to really ask about?
Well, it's because you never Murdy tip up. Murdy asks questions and gets answers.
I don't think it's any secret that our people have no love for one another.
Well, then tell me a secret.
Not really much one to tell. Just seems a lot of bad omens have started since then.
And so what? The local folk blaming the Dalish?
The Dalish and their obsession with the things out of the ordinary.
What if I told you Murdy wasn't just here for chain?
Exactly what are you looking for?
she decides which answer she wants to give and decides the appropriate one's probably best. And she says, she goes, well, it's come to our attention that these Dalish have been attacked.
Wasn't that a fucking shame?
And I know you're not, say, fond of the Dalish, but you wouldn't happen to have anything to do with these here attacks, would you?
Yes, I went out and I summoned all sorts of crazed demons to come attack us, because that would benefit me and my shop and my people so much.
So since you're so smart and know so many things, why do you think the creatures only attacked the Dalish?
Well, considering they haven't only attacked the Dalish, I'm not quite sure what to follow up your answer with. They have been getting awful close to our town and managed to strike last night, of all times.
Where?
One of the side farms here just outside of town ran off with a bunch of livestock.
Maybe not anymore. For the farm or the livestock. We've handled that.
Looks a little perplexed.
It's confusing, don't worry. Could it say not be something other than the Dalish arrival?
I don't know exactly what else it could be. Everything was fine before they trotted into our town that day. And all of a sudden, things are getting attacked. Strange things happening around the town. They brought a curse upon us.
A curse?
What other answer could there be? We all know they dabble in blood magics and
All of them?
scream naked at the moon. Kinds of strange things that they do.
I lean in a little closer and I go, your imagination. You've been thinking about Dalish running around naked howling at the moon, have you?
Well, I can only go by what most folks around here understand about them.
Do they all picture them naked howling at the moon?
You know, those sort of monsters and creatures they are. You know, much more different than that. What should I say? They're probably closer to animals than they are our kind.
Did I cover my list? Hang on. Oh, and say, Murdy wanted to get out of town, maybe cross that there river, but Murdy sinks like a stone. How might, say, one go about crossing it outside of a boat?
Well, I don't know what the hell you want to go out that way for. There's nothing out there but more woods.
Murdy likes the woods.
You're a dwarf. There's no understanding in that statement whatsoever.
See, you think you know Murdy, but you don't.
It's been pretty established I don't understand most of the things you're saying.
Listen, is there or is there not a bridge?
Well, most likely there's a bridge. It may have been at some point. Maybe a tree falling over. Or there's nothing an axe and a good old sturdy tree couldn't fix, probably.
Axe. Underrated. All you need is your fists.
If you can punch a tree down, I'll give you my shop.
Is that a challenge?
No, I wouldn't say it's a challenge per se.
Well, you should really make sure you don't say stuff you don't mean, because I would punch a tree to take your shop from you.
You would punch a tree down with your bare fists.
I might. It's sure worth a shot.
You truly are.
Murdy, the tree killer. Don't tell my friends.
Right. And what is this link that you had spoken of before?
Yeah,
You piqued my curiosity.
I'm dwarven. I got running through my blood and all that, and this is, and I kind of slided over dwarven. Yeah, kind of old. Anybody around here say come shopping for more chain recently?
He scratches his beard and looks down at it. No, nobody's nobody wants a chain quite like this. This wouldn't be much useful for anything.
Don't underestimate the chain.
Well, it's typical reasons for having a chain. I don't see it being very sturdy enough for jobs that we need it for.
So, no. Nobody's come through here seeking more chain.
Do you mind if I?
Well, you ain't gonna run off with my chain, are you?
Well, I
Don't
like
go
run from
tugging
anybody
me
if they can slap their
chain!
down with their back fist.
And she gets tickled by her own chain joke. Well, go on.
Picks it up, just turning it. It's a strange metal, almost like silver. I haven't seen anything like this before. Where'd you get this from?
Family heirloom.
Right.
Dwarven kind of a thing. See, Murdy's full of surprises.
Of course.
So
He hands it back to you.
I go, well, put it I put it around my neck and like sling one piece of the chain over. I go, well, Murdy appreciates your I guess this was a conversation and your honesty. You these creatures, you said they've been getting closer.
Little every day. And they used to be scared by the fires, smell of cooking and the hearth. Seem to have gotten a lot more desperate.
I see. Well, old Murdy's gonna be on her way.
Can I perhaps give you one more piece of advice on your way out?
Is it good?
Depends. A lot of talk about your friend that you brought back in. I don't think she's very welcome here.
Well, you know, it's not much of a tip if everybody stares at you on the way in. I already knew this. But it don't mean they don't need our help.
I just mean that the had a small influx in sales in some local sidearms, such as knives, swords.
Ah,
Making sure that some equipment is in good condition.
well, it's a good thing they're my friend, because all your friends who bought them sidearms are gonna have to go through old Murdy first.
I'll make sure I tell them that.
You do that. And when they're done, they can come check out the tree I'll punch down. Well, guess I'll be on my way. And I like stretch a little bit. And I saunter and I hobble towards the door. And I say, you know, you could also tell your friends they could simply come talk to old Murdy if they need a chit chat about my friends.
I'm sure they'll find you in time.
I look forward to it. Oh, and, you know, you can also come find old Murdy.
I think you're a little too crazy for me, to be honest with you.
You could have just said no. I, like, slam the door behind me. And I saunter back towards my friends to tell them that basically he was useless and so his friends. And welcome all you raiders. Thank you for the raid. Thank you, and welcome in.
I guess that brings us to Elith and Alwyn. You are going to the Chantry, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
the whole way, I am paying attention to this town. Like, this is half just an excuse so I can keep an eye and see if people are acting up.
A lot more activity than you're used to within the village. People walking around together, talking, hushed. You see a lot more weapons out than normal. Again, you maybe because of the attacks that happened over the night. You have your own guesses as well.
Yeah.
There's a general vibe of unrest.
Correct.
General vibe of elf hate. Well, that's promising. Great.
Well, everybody seems a bit unsettled.
Unsettled. Very nice way of putting it.
I do try to be diplomatic as much as possible.
I wish I could. Sometimes.
'Tis a learned skill.
I hope I can learn it one day.
Well, amongst the Grey Wardens you may, if that is the path you choose.
My other option is kind of death, so...
Well, I
Suppose
shall
either
not
way.
pry.
Oh, it's nothing terrible.
Hmm.
I assure you, it was deserved.
How interesting. I find it somewhat harsh to think anyone deserves death.
And Eli's just gonna, like, raise up his arms, and you can see that there's just, like, numerous scars, and probably still the imprints of chains.
She could get a sense of what that implies. You see sort of a flicker of sadness pass in her eyes, but she only nods and turns and continues on the way to the chantry.
The building of the chantry here is very, very tiny. Seems to have been set up with meager supplies in mind. Simple wooden structure. Elith, you would know that Sister Arda is the one that overlooks the chantry here. She just seems to be milling about inside. There's no one else in there but her. She seems to be just tending to small matters within the church itself.
She'll kind of give a knock on the door frame to announce their presence first.
Okay.
Begging your pardon, sister.
She smiles and puts down this this small watering pitcher that she has. Tucks her hands in her robes and sort of nods her head towards you as she begins to walk. She's in this you would say it was probably had been purple at one point. Over the years, it has faded to a very, very light, almost lilac sort of color. But she has the symbol of the maker dangling from her chest. It's probably the largest piece of gaudy jewelry that you'll find on her. This flowing brown hair with streaks of silver in it. She's seen several winters pass. She smiles to Elith and then to you in turn.
My name is Alwyn of the circle at Lake Callanhad. I assume you must know Elith. It seems you've got some familiarity.
Yes, he and Todd do many jobs around here for us.
Well, it would seem we are embarking on one more job, and I only wanted to report in things we have discovered up to this point. We're investigating, but should we not return, I think it would be wise to pass this word on to the Circle and perhaps the Chantry in Denerim, so that they might send aid.
I see. What sort of things are transpiring?
I will be frank. I have suspicions that we may be dealing with a demon of the Fade, or at least a long-sealed abomination set free.
You see the air sort of escape her.
I believe it to be linked with the attacks and things that have been occurring in the area. We do not have concrete information at this time, but that is what we are seeking.
Elith, this is true.
You know I don't lie.
Olwyn just sort of cocks an eyebrow and gives Elith some side-eye, but says nothing.
Especially not about something like this.
Arda sort of like holds your gaze for a moment as if searching. Then drops her eyes to the ground. Well, I will send word to Denerim. Oh, most troubling indeed. What else could I do for you in this circumstance?
If you would forward word of my presence here to the circle at Lake Callanhat, I would be deeply appreciated.
I will do
They know that I am in the area, but I have not had a chance to write them in some time.
If there's anything personal you wish to send along, I'd be happy to have it sent.
It is quite all right, as long as the High Enchanter knows where I am. That is enough.
Very well.
One other thing, potentially.
Hmm.
If we were to perhaps trust you with someone's safety, you'd be probably the safest place here, right? From the town.
Most likely, yes, I suppose.
Good to know.
What has this person done to deserve such protection?
Existence, sadly in this case.
I see.
You know, some of the citizens of this town have preconceived notions about individuals of other cultures.
Yes, I suppose I do.
Yeah.
I've learned many things in the last 18 years that I've served over this place. Saddens me greatly. I hope to change their minds one day.
Today would be a really great day for that.
They seem a bit agitated in general. Have you heard any whispers? Any concerns from the people come to confide in you that you might be willing to pass on?
Oh, it's nothing in particular. They're scared. They're worried about curses. Worried about the Dalish in the area. And worried about the animals in particular. Just everything is so out of ordinary.
Behaving strangely? More aggressive, perhaps?
She nods. Strange birds that seem to watch from different areas now.
I think I saw one of them.
I wish
Did
I
you?
could look surprised by that, but
And when you say strange birds, you mean like literal birds, right? Not some chantry like metaphor, correct?
no, no.
Okay, good.
I'm not clever enough for such eloquence.
I wanted to be sure because you know sometimes it's like the strange birds and it's yeah. But yeah, no. When we were coming in, bringing in our friend, one was watching us.
Seems to be the thing to happen nowadays. They don't ever draw much closer than the outskirts of the town.
Are they bad?
I do not know.
Well, in my experience, demons can take on many forms, but also so can mages. If you have someone skilled in shape-shifting, in particular.
That would be handy.
There's also the whole idea of the blight. Perhaps something has gotten into them. Maybe they carry the taint. I do not know. They're not aggressive yet.
Yes.
Certainly possible. We cannot discount it, at any rate.
Cool. Awesome.
Well, thank you, sister. I appreciate your assistance and your information. With any luck and the Maker willing, we shall solve this before it hurts any other people.
Would you receive a blessing before you go?
By all means.
And she steps forward and takes each of you one in one hand and bows her head. In the name of Andraste and the Maker, may our words carry to the Lord above and bless you.
Thank you, sister. May the Maker watch over you as well.
Thank you. Let me know when I can help with your friend.
Of course.
First to know.
All that's done, Olwen will give her a little bow of her head and then turn to head out.
Okay.
Aelith will follow behind. Smaller bow, but you know.
she sort of smiles and watches you all leave. Um, and in game terms, you guys have received a blessing Andraste. You get
Ooh.
+1 to any roll over the
Ooh.
next.
Woo! Hey, thank you, thank you.
Ooh. Over the next what?
Thanks.
You can receive a +1 to a roll of your choice.
Nice. Okay. Very cool.
High five.
And I guess that's going to bring us to our two Dalish.
Get them buffs.
Right? Buff, buff, buff.
As +1 to a roll.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so Lalafren is with Ishara.
Mhm.
Um, and kind of in the house, they're standing by like the door frame, kind of watching on the outside and just kind of speaking to her in Dalish and just saying, you know, you've been in a cart for a while. Would you fancy a walk? You can talk.
I do not know it is safe for me to walk around here.
Oh, I think it is plenty safe. And besides, you shouldn't let them hobble you into this house. We are the Dalish. We roam where we wish.
She sighs deeply, but finally and slowly, painfully, picks herself off the edge of the bed where she had been sitting, um, moves to your side and takes your arm.
If there was any like fruit in the house, I would have taken it and kind of shared it and just kind of said, so how often did your clan come to this town?
Every few months, we had helped some with the harvest. They were very gracious, invited us, to live with the celebrations. It was very unfortunate that this all occurred.
And everything had always been fine up until then.
For the most part, there's always squabbles between you know how the libations make the brain go, but nothing to this extent.
Don't you think that's strange? A tiff happens and some bad things happen. We all know that Darkspawn and whatever those things were exist. I mean, a Grey Warden was here. Surely that should have been on people's minds quicker than the Dalish. It seems as if someone's poisoning the water.
They are very superstitious people too. You have to understand, we are far from any real center of culture or society here. We've sort of just dug up a hole to live in.
Still, it is quite strange. Who would you normally converse with? Who are the people who would barter and trade with you the most?
We dealt mostly with the Mullins, Heron and Kessler. They ran the Arbor Inn. It's sort of the center of the town where everyone goes. Very friendly to people, yes.
Well, why don't we go there? See if your many generous deeds to this. And I look around at like just the dirt and the hovels to this place can be remembered from people who are sent to the town.
If you think it is safe, I will go.
I will not let anything happen to you. Them, but not you.
She grasps your arm a little tighter. And with
I
a
do not
long...
wish to force you.
She looks up to you and smiles. I understand. I understand what you're doing. She reaches out a hand and pushes the door open.
Nice strut in.
Oi.
Okay. Okay, so we're in the Arbor Inn now. Along the way, you definitely garnered a lot of attention. Um,
Hmm.
Not just her, but she's accompanied with another Dalish. Um, and there's definitely attention and tension, I should say, of your two passing.
Would
But
Murdy have noticed after I got done, or is this before Murdy's done having her chit chat?
this is sort of all happening simultaneously. You went to the blacksmith, and Elith and Olaf went to the chantry. These two have done their own path.
Our sign was screaming, so
It's true. Nobody's screaming yet.
Ah!
Yet. Yet. Nobody is screaming yet.
There are a few faces inside the inn currently. Seen a lot outside, probably more than would probably be comfortable with. You'd think at this time of day that everybody would be relaxing for the evening, having done with their work. With being autumn, the sun's setting sooner than normally, so um, you think there'd be more patrons, but there's just a handful of them. And you do see, and probably 50s or so. Person behind there with these glasses and this beard, probably peppered in black, who sort of raises an eyebrow from beyond these spectacles, seeing the two of you walk in.
hello, 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 everybody. I'm just here to buy some wares and restock. Good afternoon, you sir. Good afternoon.
And what you
I
see mostly is these people like slowly taking their drinks down, setting them on the table, and silence just drops.
hello. What was the name? Kessler and
This would be Heron.
Heron. I
Yes.
walk over to Heron. Hello. My name is Lalafrin Talinar. I believe you know my friend here.
Yeah, I do. Well, what can I do for the two of you?
Well, she was telling me about all of the months her and her clan have been coming to help with harvests and festivals and whatnot. And she said that this was the heart of the town and a lively place to be. So,
Yeah.
me being a visitor, I wanted to enjoy that rustic hospitality that I heard you were good for.
I know your friend. He sort of smiles to her, just barely the edges of his lips turning up. It's just not a very good time for hospitality right now.
Why?
Sort of, well, there's the attacks, there's her coming back.
Well, yes, that's why I wanted to come here, because there's no better place to spread the tales of bravery and the tenacity of the Dalish than an inn and a place to eat. Look at her. And I like gesture to all of her wounds. It was her, me, and a few of the Dalish at the old farm fighting off all of these weird hordes, trying to save as many as we could. We lost many Dalish friends along the way, of course. But we wouldn't let any of those hordes get to this town, she said. And I remember the keeper saying it quite truthfully, and that this place was the only bastion for our people, the true heart of Ferelden. And I would like to roll deception here.
Yeah, you're laying her on thick. Go ahead.
I use my plus one.
Wowzer.
All right, deception. Oh god, that's such a better one. Yeah, I got a stun point, but you know.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes,
you
that's full eight.
you convinced yourself.
That's an 11.
So 11. Okay. So sort of like he's nodding, listening to your story. And you see like sympathy begin to build in his eyes, listening. You all have done a great thing for us.
Yes, I lost my childhood friend.
I'm very sorry.
We
Very,
hid
very
in the basement.
He, like instinctively like puts like a glass down and starts pouring into it. Said, there, that's all right. It's all right.
We came for the warden, but he's gone. Oh, the chantry be with us.
Oh my god.
I'm so sorry. I wish I knew what more to do for you. I'm greatly appreciative, and that's what I'm going to tell you right now. And he sort of like motions you closer. You are both in grave danger right now.
Speak up! Oh, my ear, it was not on.
You need to get the hell away from here.
Why?
They're going to be coming for her, and if you're with her, they'll be coming for you too.
I like take the drink and swirl it. Sip it with my pinky out. That's why I'm here. I suppose the chantry hasn't been very favorable either.
He sort of cocks his head to the side. I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Well, isn't it their job to keep the peace? Stability?
Oh,
Before they would have been the first ones out trying to calm the civilians down.
Art is one person. She's seen a lot of winters by now. She can only do so much. She tries her best, but a lot of anger around here lately.
Lots of anger. Well, thank you. I will go spread our tale. It was good to see a friendly face. It was worth it. My best friend who died in my arms would agree.
So sorry about your friends, and maybe when some of this is over, we can help compensate your loss. Okay?
Of course, we'll have a Dalish feast, berries and wood bark, because that's what we eat. And I'll walk out.
Oh, berries and the bark. All right.
Delicacy.
What were your all's intentions after your certain individual?
Come on back.
Going back?
Probably to
Oh,
come on back and
Birdie was gonna
trade.
get a drink.
Meridy's getting a drink.
But it's fine. She can come back. It's fine.
Post drink.
She had to quench her thirst somehow, because
Mm-hmm.
you know,
That plan didn't
Water
quite
barrel.
go
did
accordingly.
not go according to plan. The blacksmith had no interest. How dare he?
There he.
Dare he?
Okay.
She tried.
I did.
It was a good effort.
So with the growing smell of the wood fires beginning to being lit, there's that general smell of cooking and smoke that sort of wafts through the town. You can almost taste it against your tongue as the cover of darkness begins to envelop the city itself. You find yourselves once again back at Tardale's, all being watched as you move.
Is there like a symbol of the wardens around in his home?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Okay. I'm gonna like how big? Like, is there like a banner, or is this like just like a like badge? Are we talking about?
He would have probably some sort of ceremonial, like breastplate.
Okay.
It's not really, made for use, more of like an occasion
Yeah.
sort of thing. There is a banner as well, yes.
Okay. I'm gonna take the banner
Hmm.
and I'm going to like jam it into the ground outside of the door to remind these people that this is a Grey Warden house.
Okay.
Hopefully, Ishara feels a bit better after that. And I think I'm cooking whatever's in the house.
Okay. So you all sort of settle in for the evening.
You know, I think your hypothesis, Olwen, was right
Oh,
about an anger demon.
A lot of hate going around.
Yes,
certainly
suddenly.
seems that way.
They seem to blame the Dalish.
Surprised.
Yes.
They believe
so,
that
too.
whatever bad creatures are coming in is because they are here.
Of course, they know not the differences between magic. The Dalish are unlikely to disturb such a thing. If anything, they would protect it first.
Yes.
Such is my understanding.
I mean, I'm the one who threatened to punch a tree, and he didn't seem concerned.
You
He
did
still
what now?
was going to punch a tree.
Just
It's fine.
on-
It was part of
Wait.
the. It was part of the. You know. It was part of getting information out of him. I needed to
Was
to
it a
impress him.
euphemism?
Is that is that
No, I was really going to punch a tree.
Trees are friends. We talked about that.
I mean, depends on the tree.
Okay. Let Murdy start from top. Hmm? Yes.
By all means. Tree punching aside,
Hey,
what transpired in your discussion?
Not much. His friends have been buying up weapons since the two of yous comes to town.
No,
Oh, really?
Yes, I was told they're coming for us.
probably.
I told them they have to go through Murdy first. It didn't seem to care. And then I asked him about the bridge. He said maybe a, more naturally made one, like a fallen tree or something. And then he made a joke about punching a tree or chopping it down. And then I made a very real
course.
statement that I could, in fact, punch
Could
a
you
tree.
punch down a tree?
Why does anybody doubt this? And I
No,
crack my
I mean,
knuckles.
I mean, if you can punch down a tree, yeah, sure.
I could
do that.
I could try.
That is certainly a way to make a bridge if we cannot find one. And in interest of time, we may have to.
He did not seem
Yes.
impressed.
That's all right. I don't think you need to impress a small-minded villager.
Yes, I think we should
Yes.
all leave and take Ishra with us. It's not safe here.
If we need to, we did talk with Chantry. We might be able to, if necessary, find safety for her there.
To be perfectly honest, I would
Scoff.
fear that her presence in the
probably-
Chantry would put she and both Sister Ada in danger.
Probably.
I agree.
But
The only way they're going to be safe is with us.
Yes, and if they're out the town, I can just talk to them. Stop
Maybe.
myself from saying I killed them.
So what's our play here? Because the local folks, they want us, well, they want you dead.
they want everybody who's not human at the moment dead.
It's true, but it doesn't change the facts we can't stay here.
No, I think we should head out.
Where are we going?
Well, we've got the map. And
We should find our way to the ruins, I think.
Yes,
head to their camp and then to the ruins.
Yes.
perhaps someone's alive.
And, he did say the, creatures are drawing closer.
Yes.
He mentioned the
That's,
farm, which I did not say we burned to the ground.
No, I think he means the other farm. That
Oh. Right.
Also-
That's what I meant.
Indeed.
We also haven't spoken to the other part in the disagreement, the human, and why they're so rowdy. From what I heard from Ishara, their clan have been coming here for months, helping with the town.
That was the blacksmith.
Oh, it was a blacksmith that was your reply?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay then.
He's
Yeah, he was human, I think.
yeah, he's locked up, tighter than a chest. He does not like talking. At least not to Murdy. I did ask him about the chain too. He says he's not seen anything like it before.
Well, then we should definitely make way for the camp.
Indeed. I think a bit of rest and then we set out in the morning.
Sounds good.
Yes.
Can I-
think
can-
that's good.
Can we get a drink?
Barrel.
Do you- yeah, I was gonna say, we do have our
Right,
barrel.
I got a whole barrel in my cart. Yep, that's perfect. That's all Murdy needs to hear. Back to the cart!
Okay. So Murdy is stepping out to get the barrel from the cart.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm gonna roll the whole thing in here.
Party.
The whole
Just
barrel,
gonna
not the
tap
whole
that keg
cart.
tonight.
Yeah, tap. It's not like anything else is getting tapped for Murdy.
Oh, man.
Murdy.
Alrighty then. So you venture out and you grab one of the kegs from the cart and begin to roll it up the steps. And you do begin to hear a cacophony of voices just west of here, sort of echoing down the street.
Are they upset voices? Are these partying voices?
Definitely not partying voices.
They're like, bro, it's a keg.
Yeah, tap, chug.
Party at the Coral Dales, man.
But it seems to be like more of like a mob mentality.
Yeah.
Well,
Can we hear this inside?
Not yet, you haven't.
Okay.
but Murdy hears it when she goes to get the keg.
Yeah.
Oh. I peek my head back in and I go, Murdy hates to be the bearer of bad news, but seems like the mob is a foreman. I suggest all of you, or you, to find some shelter. Murdy will go talk to him.
Marty. Hold on.
Perhaps we should just go quietly.
You want to leave in the middle of the night?
Yes, that might be the models
go in the cart?
creatures.
Doesn't
Those-
seem as though we have any choice.
The people who need to can sleep in the cart, and then we can switch off afterwards.
Indeed.
Seems dangerous.
I agree.
to-
They could track us down so much easier in the cart.
And if they do, we will drop a barrel in front of them, and I will shoot it with a
But
burning
no,
arrow
but that's the
and
last
kill them
barrel.
all.
Then
Okay.
we leave the cart.
I
We
would have
walk.
run.
You want to go on foot without the cart and without the barrel. Things are getting worse in Murdy's head.
If you're not alive to drink, whether or not you have the barrel will not matter, Murdy.
Elith is gonna step out and see how far away they are.
You're beginning to see light coming towards your direction. You were going to say they're probably maybe 200 yards off at this point.
Okay. How much of the village does this look like?
From this distance in the night, it's hard to tell, but guessing by the torchlight, you're guessing perhaps 30.
Okay. Looks like about 30.
Well, I for one do not want to deal with a mob of 30 angry people. I think it best if we just go.
Yeah.
Quietly, quickly,
To
and
where?
without the cart.
Oh, right.
Where are we going?
To the camp. Dalish camp. Same as we were planning to in the morning.
Yes.
Can we
certainly
make it-
accelerate our plan?
Can we navigate in the dark?
We're going to have to try.
Yep.
Lilafin does not look happy.
Olwen, she can do this. She's actually got a talent in creation magic. She summons a small light wisp.
Nice.
That sort of hovers in near her shoulder.
Okay.
We'll have light. You needn't worry about that.
I feel
She
like
sort of
this is a
stuffs it
bad
out.
idea.
Murdy, when Owen casts her spell, you feel a slight tingle in your pocket.
Well. Excuse me. Murdy reaches deep into her pocket and tries to pull out, what is it, the chain?
Is the chain.
My chain's vibrating.
When I cast the spell,
Yes?
she summons she kind of waves her hand and the white light wisp appears
Oh.
again.
So what you see is almost like silvery raindrops seem to drip from the metal itself, cascading to the ground and disappearing in small puffs. It's very brief. It's not lighting up the entire room by any means, but there's definitely some sort of effect.
Well, that's interesting.
Elith has drawn his bow and is standing there aiming at the closest individual
In
and
any
waiting
case-
for us to leave.
They
Or
are
stay.
approaching. So
We've no time. We should go. We'll sort this out later. We'll have to navigate in the dark for a short bit, but as soon as we are out of sight, I will summon this again. She kind of waves it out of existence.
Okay.
I was like, it's going to be squirrel.
Gather what food and drink you can that we can bring with us easily. We cannot tarry any longer.
But the barrel.
If you want to stay with the barrel and be subject to the
can
mob,
still
that is your
technically-
choice, but give me the chain.
Oh,
You could still technically use it if you want.
the ah! Murdy goes ah, and she picks the barrel up and she pops the cap and she's leaving it behind, she's leaving it behind, and she pours across the road. I'm guessing we're on some kind of like road, away from the buildings, but across the road, all of this like moonshine out. And she goes, might as well waste the booze and buy us some time. She takes a lantern and she kind of throws it a few feet and smashes it to create kind of a barrier of fire down the road for us to be able to get away.
okay, wonderful.
Can't believe I wasted the
Elith is
moonshine.
gonna grab the banner
Okay.
of the Grey Wardens.
So y'all managed to scrounge up probably a couple weeks worth of dried rations and fruit from the establishment, enough to feed you for probably, like I said, a couple weeks. Flames envelop the road. This black smoke sort of disappearing into the midnight sky. And you hear the gasps and awes of the crowd as they see this fire ahead of them. And their footsteps seem to be hurried, as if maybe one of the buildings in the town itself is on fire, so they're rushing forward. And you all slink off under the cover of night.
Laffrin was like one of the last ones. They like stopped and walked slowly, just kind of watching the mob as they would kind of moved on. And they made it with everybody else. They were at the back of the group with Ishara.
What you see is the flames from the moonshine don't last quite as long, probably, as you might have expected.
Yep,
Um,
just enough to distract him.
Yeah, right. So they begin to burn, to dim down, and what you see is they all begin to surround Tarldale's house, and you see a couple of them. What's most noticeable, if anybody would have been looking back at it, is that it seems to be that the blacksmith himself seems to be leading this charge, and is moving towards the front door of the abode. But
He sure seemed like a nice guy.
What a shame. He seemed like a gem.
that's the last of you see of the town behind you as you move back east once more.
At least I'm not pulling a cart.
Positives. Little blessings.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna just like be booking it through the woods a bit. If I
Yeah,
can.
yeah.
Probably take points because he has perception C.
Yes.
Can
Once
also-
once they're safely out of range of seeing of the mob, Olin will summon up the wisp again so that they have some light. It's basically it sheds like a 10-yard radius with lantern brightness.
Okay, cool. You guys have no issues finding the path ahead of you
Okay.
between Elith and the Dalish herself. They're both fairly well versed on the layout of this land. And it doesn't take you nearly as long to get to the farm as it did back to the village now without a cart in tow. Maybe an hour or so that you pass the farm itself, which is now just chunks of blackened wood
Oops.
paved upon itself. And you press on forward into the forest itself. You find the Dalish camp, and I'm just going to sort of push this forward because we only have a couple episodes left.
Yeah, yeah.
So you push to the Dalish camp, what you find is a circle of wagons, which seem to still be laid down, as if whoever had been here had either left in a hurry or had been attacked. They are all in condition. You see the remains of several smaller wood fires, like cooking fires, and all around you don't even need to roll for this, but you definitely see signs of combat. You see some dried blood. You see scuffles in the dirt itself, upturned earth, but no bodies whatsoever.
Does there seem to be like in some of the heavier traffic combat areas? Does there seem to be an area where like a body fell and then was dragged?
Dragged.
Dragged.
Why don't you go and give me an investigation on this? And seeing with your focus.
Can I do one as well and kind of look around, see if I can see any tracks or anything like that?
Absolutely.
That is 14, and I'll throw my +1 onto there.
Okay, so 15.
That's 12 for mine.
12. Okay. So what you both see, as I said, you see there's these traces of dried blood and spots, indicating that at least some of these people had been wounded. And from the size of some of the spots, there were probably at least a few deaths that you can tell of. But it doesn't appear like it was like a whole slaughter of people, which seems to match Ashara's story itself, that some were taken away. Again, no bodies that you can find, but Edith, as you're looking deeper into this, you do find footprints and drag marks on the ground that show a large number, perhaps over 20 people may have either been carried or marched off.
And are they carried? I know this is a kind of silly, really a specific question. Are they carried like one-on-one, so like one person to carrying one person? Does it look like an army came through, or does it look like a small grouping of large creatures came through and carried multiple bodies at a time?
Correct. Okay, so you would assume that there was at least 20 potential different footprints here that don't match any sort of like demi-human footprint or marking or boot print per se. And the only reason that really Ela can tell is just the depth of the footprint and the way that it's moving. You can tell that they were more laden down.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, we know which way they went.
They appear to have gone off to the southeast, which is concurrent with Owen's knowledge of where these ruins most likely reside.
Okay.
Sounds like our trajectory will remain the same then. We'll head that way.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay. Anything else you guys want to look at while you're here?
I want to check the wagons.
Yeah.
Also,
See if there's anything that like either is if there's something that like should be there that's gone, or just like if nothing from inside was touched, etc.
Olwood will probably be searching for any signs or sense of residual magic or magic glyphs or things left behind that might shed some light on what happened.
Okay.
also with my law check, I have the proficiency with it, so I get like a bit of information, like extra information with my successful roll with my law check thing. Then powers, it's like
Okay.
Jim gives you extra, get extra.
Let's see here. You do see, we'll sort of try to combine this all at one time here. You do see that the wagons appear to show some signs of maybe being broken into, maybe smashed or kicked doors in here and there. But you do notice that there's hoof prints everywhere, as if the cart horses probably have run off at some point as well during this skirmish. But the things that you see inside, you don't see anything missing. There's cooking utensils, maybe some furs or beddings, things that the Deos would probably need as they're moving about the land itself. The best that you can gather from that is they probably were broken in to pull someone out. You, with your allure roll, you notice something a little even deeper into the footprints themselves. They aren't too too far off from the elven footprints themselves. Very similar, but much like the blight wolves that you all encountered, I'm saying it's probably the same day that you all encountered the blight wolves. There is just a slight variation. Maybe the toes are slightly longer. You might see that there might be maybe the nail might be dug into the ground. Um, Whatever these were, they weren't too far off in size and structure, even in the way that they move. They don't seem like they're too far off from what the elves themselves.
Okay.
What do you make of
Related.
that?
Corrupted them.
Could be anything from abominations to darkspawn. I suppose.
Darkspawn.
Yes.
I would more likely think abominations, but we cannot discount the other.
So are we just going to follow the footsteps?
Seems to lead in the direction of the ruins, so I think so. That is our objective either way.
Do you think it's a good idea to take her with us?
The other option is leaving her here.
I
I...
don't feel particularly comfortable doing.
Do you really think they'll come looking for her here?
Not them, but whatever left these.
But
and
if we're
those
meeting those
creatures.
first...
And we are still being followed.
Elitha is going to turn to her. What would you want to do? We will not fault you if you don't want to go with. We will likely be having to do something rather unpleasant.
He shrugs her shoulders and sort of looks despondent. I can't go to the village. I can't stay here. I don't think I have much of a choice. I have to go with you.
We shall do our best to look after you.
I will try not to get in your way.
I'll make sure nothing bad happens to you. You have my word.
Try.
Yes.
Gar-
We shall see this through.
One last check. Was there any discarded weapons?
Discarded weapons, yes. There are some swords, some axes. All just seem to be made of more crude material, especially the axes. They look like they may have been, like, the handles themselves may have been replaced by the Dalish themselves. I should say they're, like, low quality. They're very high quality.
Yeah.
Just definitely not made from, like, a blacksmith shop.
Right.
It's like they've been carved by hand and
Arrows, bows and arrows?
very beautiful. You know, absolutely, yes. Bows and arrows, especially within the tents themselves.
I'm gonna grab some more arrows.
Okay.
I give like Ishara a weapon, whatever weapon she wants.
Yeah.
She would probably just take a couple of daggers. She seems to be the type for close quarters combat. Slips them into her side.
So we're just gonna go in fists a-blazing?
Probably.
I think we go prepared for combat, but carefully as we can. I would like to look about the place before we just charge in, ready to attack anything.
Well,
Tact. That's what we want.
you said you've come out of this place. Maybe she could give us a little write-up, a little map from here and there.
Ashara, do you know perhaps a way in that we could get in quietly, unnoticed?
She says, I came up from some hole in the ground. I don't know if there's other ways into it. I can only show you the way that I came out, and that's...
It's as good a start as any.
Birdie
know if
loves
we
a
can
good hole in
find
the
it.
ground.
I was sort of in a hurry to leave.
All right. Well, we shall look around and see what we can find.
Yes. Mary. There's nothing running under here, would there, that would connect or off connect to deep roads or anything that you might know?
So I know that you said that I knew there was some tunneling around here, but it's just the ancient ruins. I wouldn't know of any like dwarven functioning tunnels in this area.
Oh god, give me that lore check. We might.
I was about to say that's gonna probably just be a what, just a cunning check then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Old Murdy.
It's
She
not bad at all.
got
She does her
an
best.
11. She does her best. You know, I left tunnels for a reason.
There, you know that there have been the deep roads extend all throughout Ferelden. Very likely that there could be some sort of extension out this way.
Ooh, maybe. The roads go everywhere, so you know.
All the more
Generically,
reason we
yes.
shouldn't. All the more reason we shouldn't discount that it could be Darkspawn. Hopefully, it is not, but
It's true.
we ought to be prepared.
Maybe so what are you thinking? We could drop down, say, from here? And go in and not have to go through the front door? Make our own door.
If there's a way we can sneak into the ruins, I think that would be best. It's just a matter of finding where.
And your hole, and I point to her, the one you came up through, was you dug it? Or did you find it?
I found it. It was just past where they were keeping the rest of the Dalish. It went up some stairs, and I remember coming out into the sun. No real set doorway, just finding a hole that was dug in the earth.
So even if we drop in via her hidey hole, come down near where they're keeping them, if they're lucky enough to still be alive, no offense, we got to move them. We can't move all those Dalish up a single hole.
It is true.
Yes, but I think even if we do find them, we should leave them where they are. If we're planning to stop this, we should try and do that first. Otherwise, there's no point.
Indeed.
Then maybe through the front door is best option.
Does not mean we cannot do so carefully.
I have thought.
Do tell.
You, and he points to her, know this hole. Could you say lead the rest of the Dalish out of it if we create enough of distraction?
I'm sure you will. I'm sure I could find us at least back here somewhere. Yes.
Then I say we just give her the opening she needs. Murdy's good at distractions.
You seem rather fixated on barging in as loudly as possible.
No! I am saying we should give enough of cover so that they forget about the Dalish. Would be a lot easier to move them.
away, we wouldn't necessarily even need to go in. If we can draw them away enough, lead them somewhere.
I think we go in carefully first so we can get a sense of their numbers. If there are far too many, it won't matter what distraction we cause. They're not all going to come running.
Depends how smart they are.
Assume they are smarter. That is always safest.
There is this ritual. They most likely send whatever those, not like point to the tracks, whatever those are, while the ritual continues. At this point, they already know that someone's escaped.
Indeed.
Who knows, maybe as long as we have the chain.
Can we undo the ritual?
Or maybe even stop it from being a thing.
I don't know. I don't know rituals.
Same.
But it's a thought.
Let's make our way closer first, and then we shall decide.
Agreed.
But for now, it is quite late.
I'll take first watch. Murdy climbs to the top of a cart or wagon and sits there and keeps first watch.
I'll join on first watch.
Okay. So the rest of them lay down for the night. Um, it's been some time since you rested, so I'm sure it doesn't take you long to doze off. And perhaps it does. Maybe the happenings around have sort of put your mind at unease. Shara definitely has a hard time resting. She keeps popping her eyes open, listening. And I think Murdy and Edith, why don't you both give me some sort of perception check? This would be hearing based.
All right.
Nope. Murdy sings to herself.
6 and 15.
15. Wonderful. As Murdy is sort of sitting there, just doing her little chant back and forth, not really paying much attention.
Murdy.
Yep.
Edith, just between one of her verses that she's singing, you hear almost like a quiet cackle. You can't really pinpoint the direction it's coming from. Definitely out of the ordinary.
I'm going to scan my surroundings nonchalantly.
Okay.
Get up and fake yawn stretch. Look around.
Okay. As you stand and look, you see the reflections of several pair of eyes out in various parts of the woods. Seem to be circled around the cave themselves.
Murdy.
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 What?
We have company.
What?
Company.
I look out. Do I also see the eyes?
You, with Elith, sort of pointing out what's going on, it does not take long for you to see them, and they appear to be drawing closer. And Elith, with your keen hearing, you also begin to hear the scuttling of broken branches as these things try to silently move towards you all.
They're not doing a very good job of being quiet.
No, but we should probably either do something or alert the others.
Well, they don't know the others are here yet. Murdy goes... Murdy wants to hop from cart to cart and go to the opposite side of the circle where it's closer. Can I do that?
You may.
Elif draws an arrow on his bow.
That's fine. Murdy's got to be in hand-to-hand combat range no matter
Yep.
what, so she's gonna have to get closer.
Yep.
You can stay at a distance, which is what I
Yep.
want you to do.
Yep.
Go ahead and give me...
Is that an acrobatics for the jumping?
Give me acrobatics, yes, definitely. And I think we're going to combine this with a little bit of stealth.
Okay. So there's a lot. That would be 6, 8,
18.
9, 14, 18 for the hopping. And it's also just a dexterity for the stealth.
Yes.
Haha!
That's not bad at all.
And Elif's gonna try to stealth too, slink into the shadows a bit.
Murdy's now crawling on her belly across the top of these carts.
Okay. So what they see is their 2 points of focus have vanished from their eyes, and you begin to hear excited, almost. I don't want to say they're almost like dog whimpers, almost. Just sound just starts to get louder and louder. You guys have managed to stealth and be out of their vision. They're not sure where you're at. But
Great.
it's definitely, they realize that they have been found out.
They've been duped. Great.
They are approaching quickly.
Murdy's now humming the Mission Impossible soundtrack tune as she goes. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, Murdy snaps the chain. I'm ready for it.
And if any of them come into our clearing, Elif is taking a shot.
Okay. Are you all doing anything to awaken the rest of your party that's resting, or?
I'm
Elif
away from the party now.
Elif is is gonna try stealthing his way towards them.
Mhm.
And if they enter in, it'll be take a shot, bump them to wake them up.
Okay. So, you all go your separate ways. Elith, you knock the arrow and watch as you see the first twisted form of one of these creatures escape from the edge of the woods. It has almost like a jackal-like appearance, the flesh hanging in loose folds from its skin, long claws, and unleashes an ungodly howl. It sort of reverberates against the forest itself. It's easy to say that Owen and
Mm.
Lathrin, you are definitely woken very quickly. What you wake to hear next is the twang of a bow as Elith releases an arrow.
And do they not know where I am?
They're not sure where you're at.
Awesome. So this gets a +2.
Oh, I was gonna say, well, I have thoughts, but we'll have to see if I can even do it.
Okay.
Nice. Very nice.
So they get a +2.
Yep. So that is a 15, 13, 17 to hit.
That will definitely hit.
Okay. And on top of the 5,
Mm-hmm.
it gets 6
Ooh,
damage from the sneak attack.
okay.
Nice.
Does that bypass any armor or anything by any chance?
I will double check.
I don't believe it does, but I'm just going to ask.
No.
Okay. So this twang goes through the air, and there is a cry of pain as one of these things sort of is stopped in its tracks as this arrow digs into its side. The other two are, I assume, are probably rushing up to their feet as you look around and see pairs of eyes all descending upon you in all directions. And their lips dribbling with this almost black bile over their tongues, which
Gross.
hang loosely at their sides. All looking hungry and ready to pounce upon you. And I think in any place that might be a good place to end.
Oh yeah, kick off with a little. I see what's going on here.
Do some fight.
Okay. Little
This
first
is
section
fine.
combat. It's gonna be
We're
fine.
fine.
We're all fine. Just
We're fine.
it's fine. We didn't just sleep
I
in
just
a
have to make-
literal circle for them to come eat us.
Everything is
I
fine.
just have to make sure they keep not knowing where I am.
Man, oh man, a little cliffhanger for next week. A little cliffhanger. Let's do those outros, and then I have a special surprise for all of you at home. So hang in there. A little special surprise at the end. I'll be sharing. So I'll let you take this one out, Saf. You lead us through it.
I can start first if that would be.
Yeah, totally.
Hi, I'm Saber. I've been your dungeon. Oh, actually, dungeon master. I've been your game master for.
Yeah.
And your best friend. Catch me Fridays on my own channel at twitch.tv/Saber, where I run a 5e Planescape Dungeons and Dragons campaign. I think that's pretty much all I got going on except for this. I did just release a Honey Heist hack. If you like sigil, like cranium rats, I made a little hack of the system where you get to try to steal cheese from the dustman.
That's
So,
adorable.
It is. It really is.
It's called Cheddar Off Dead. So if you want to check it out, it's on-
Stop.
I love.
Please
I
drop that
love
link.
it.
Stop.
So proud of you for
It-
that title.
That's
sure.
amazing. Yeah, feel free to drop the link in chat. That's awesome.
If I can.
And every time I see it pop up on Twitter, I
I'm
just
not a moderator, so I'll probably get.
I was about to say you're welcome to send it direct to me if you want to, and I can put it in the
Okay.
Zoom chat and then I'll drop it in because I would love to share that. That's hilarious.
Okay, I'll do that. And I'll go ahead and go off to the next person. I'm going to choose Pro.
Go pro, go.
Hey, yeah, I love that title. It's super great. But yeah, it was a super great game. Love the script, love the story unfolding, and some combat happening next week. I am Pro Restarter. You can catch me outside, but also on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram, all under the same name. Yeah, it's been super fun, and I can't wait for next week. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Just go.
Me. Okay. Hi, this has been wonderful. I'm Little Cup of Joe everywhere on the internet, basically, but mostly Twitch and Twitter. If you like what this is, I am also in a dark fantasy podcast that is GM'd by Hollowtail.
No,
Called
nice.
Tales from a Hollow World. I play an elf in that one. It's all short. It's all very dramatically edited with sound effects and music, and it's a good listening experience. So if you like the Dragon Age, it's probably going to be your speed.
Very cool. More little dark fantasy for all of you. Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it can't be me. I have to go last, so it's on
Okay.
you.
I'm Adam, and you can catch me everywhere under Rift. I am, in addition to this, every Friday I play in a really fun, like, 2+ year long campaign that's almost about to end. I'm very sad, but we're going to be starting another one soon after that with the same people. I potentially am not disintegrated by a god anymore, so come see how that plays out.
It's a plus.
You're right. Every other Wednesday, I play Kiardal, or I DM Kiardal Wolf Age. They're going to be crossing a very big frozen sea this week, and I suppose I should plot what they're going to be doing. I am really great with prep. But besides that, at the moment, I don't think I have anything else. I've got some stuff in the works that can't be talked about, but hopefully soon. So.
Well, as always, this has been a blast playing with these folks, being here for what is now, my clock is showing over 8 hours I've been live. So that tells you a little bit about where our Sunday Fun Day started and where we're ending. So thank you all that have been with us. But as a big thank you to all of you that have stayed this long, just in case you haven't had a chance to see it, I have shown it a couple times live today. But as of last night, the official trailer for the upcoming North Sea Epilogues campaign is complete. Patreon got a sneak preview last night, and all of you about to get the next sneak preview. So here we go. Here's the trailer for the upcoming North Sea Epilogues campaign. Amazing cast announcements. Some serious hype. And so don't go anywhere. Watch this, and then we will close out when we return. Here we go. Haha, little sneak preview. It's official. It's happening not this upcoming Tuesday, but so basically 2 Tuesdays from now. So not this upcoming week, but the following week, we launch the new North Sea Epilogues campaign. I am so hyped. So come get some Vikings. It's going to be a really, really interesting one. And the cast obviously is a powerhouse group of all femme identifying peeps. So it's going to be an exciting one. Yeah, that's the big announcement. Stay tuned. If you want to keep up with all of that, remember you can always follow the channel. It's an easy way, totally free, and you always know when we go live. In addition, you can always come join us in the Discord. If you like Discord and you want to join a community, we've already had a few people join today from our Sunday Fun Day. And I want to encourage everyone to come chat with us. We've got a channel to talk about this show. We've got a channel to talk about all the other upcoming shows, as well as the Teens in Space campaign that closes out this Wednesday. If you haven't had a chance, all the VODs are up and on the YouTube channel, and this Wednesday we do close out that campaign. They're going to the most like futuristical birthday party in the whole galaxy. So it's going to be hella teenage fun. I'm very, very excited about it. Yeah, so I think those are all the big things. Again, if you popped by Sunday Fun Day and you have an interest in joining us, remember Sunday Fun Days are our community game. That means that it is entirely cast by all of you. You just sign up to play. So we still have slots open, I believe, in March and April, and more slots will open up here over probably the next month as well. So get on that. I believe we're playing Coriolis next time. That game might be full though. People were really stoked about that. And some more kids on bikes as well. So lots of fun things coming up next round, and it's totally an easy way to get to play some tabletop games right here on the Dotlight. So other than that, thank you all so much. Remember that all of your support helps makes this channel function and helps me pay these incredible folks. So if you made a donation today, I want to say thank you. We do have a shout out for this game in particular. My Kawane gave $2 and said, "For little cup of Joe." Somebody was out there showing you some love. So thank you for that love today, and for giving that tip to the crew, so that we can make sure that they get paid and our fur babies are fed. I think that's all from me. I'm going to close out what has been a very long but fulfilling Sunday here on the Dotlight. If you have been here for Sunday Fun Day, I hope your Sunday was Sunday-rific, and I hope it was fun, and I hope that you come back and you join us for the next time that we roll dice and tell stories. Until then, we're going to go raid another channel. I actually think, who's up right now? The LMF network's up, and I've not rated them. It looks like Dawn is DMing. Dawn is one of my absolute favorite GMs of all time. Go show them a lot of love. Before you peace out, make sure to give them a compliment. Tell them they're amazing. Spread that Dotlight community vibes, and here we go. We're going to raid. I will see you all Wednesday night for the closeout of Teens in Space. See you later. Bye, everybody. Rating now. And ending stream.
Yay.
Yay!
Oh, they're doing Rise of the Veiled Alliance.
Yes.
I think it's a rerun, but that's dope.
That's okay. They had a bunch of people in there anyway, so I thought I would
Yeah.
go over there and show them some love anyways.
We're totally not gonna die next time.
Totally not. With all, like, I literally thought about it, I was like, man, we set ourselves up as massive bait. We stayed in the camp. It's encircled us. Literally, we're just like, we're screwed. We're totally screwed.
If only we had brought the booze with us, we could have exploded them and set fire to the entire fort. But exploded them.
Right?
The trees, they burn.